I'm taking a tripla, and I've had some side effects from it, but at this point they've pretty well evened out. Um, I have been diagnosed for 79 days, and I've been on the tripla for going on 8 weeks. So yesterday my doctor calls me, the doctor's office, and gave me the lab reports, the lab results, um, and as of the 6th of August, so after 4 weeks of taking the tripla, my viral load has dropped um, 500,000 cells, and right now I stand at 3,110 on my viral load. Um, and that's pretty astounding. And so, what I would say to you, if you are newly diagnosed and you're thinking about medications, you're thinking about um, all the negatives, I would encourage you, the medications work. The medications work if you take them, if you're compliant with them. I take my medication every day at the same time in the evening, um, exactly as the doctors tell me. I've had a 7% increase in my CD4 count, and my T cells are in the normal range. I exercise regularly. I hang out with my friends, my family, and I think all of these are very important aspects of the total person. But if you sit at home, if you sit in a corner and you basically feel like you've already been defeated, you pretty much have. Um, you know, you don't have to worry about HIV killing you or AIDS killing you because you've already defeated yourself. But what I'm telling you, and like I have the pieces of paper to tell me, um, this reconfirms, what I know, my confidence in the medicines that I'm taking, one medicine once a day, um, and it's pretty awesome to know that I'm as healthy as anybody else. Yes, there are days where I may have side effects, I may have this, that, fatigue, whatever, but um, the long-term goal is to keep the HIV virus um, from progressing and crossing into AIDS. And that's a reduction of your CD4 count below 200 or acquiring an AIDS-defining illness. And I don't want to do that. So with medications now, we can.
Over the last 5 years, we've seen so many new developments and so many new tools that are now available to advance the fight against HIV/AIDS. In particular, we have really begun to understand the use of antiretrovirals, those are the drugs which are used to treat HIV, as effective tools to actually prevent HIV, especially in those who are HIV negative. These drugs can be used in various different formulations as tablets for pre-exposure prophylaxis or included in microbicides as vaginal microbicides to prevent the transmission of HIV to both men and women who are HIV negative. Another key use of antiretrovirals is our understanding that treatment of those who are HIV infected is perhaps one of the most effective and powerful tools to reduce the infectiousness of the HIV infected person, which has benefits for their own health as well as helps to reduce the onward transmission of HIV by more than 95%. And that's a tremendous reduction in the risk of onward transmission of HIV, and again, could be a very effective tool, not only in protecting the health of the individual, but of their partners and indeed of the community. These developments are part of the amazing changes that we've seen in the field, both here in the United States as well as globally. And I think that these changes have really inspired a new conversation about the beginning of the end of AIDS.
Uh,
Well, in the United States, there are about 19 million new sexually transmitted infections diagnosed every year. That is a huge number. We also recognize that sexually transmitted infections, namely gonorrhea, chlamydia, herpes, and syphilis, can actually increase your risk of HIV. If you're infected with an STI, we think it's more likely that you will acquire HIV if you're uninfected. If you're also HIV infected and have these STIs, you're also more likely to transmit to your partner. We're taking a number of different approaches for reducing the burden of STI. First and foremost, because these infections have no signs or symptoms, individuals don't know they're infected. If they go and seek medical attention, if the provider does an exam, they will find nothing. They need to do a test to be able to identify these infections. So it's absolutely critical that screening, meaning testing someone without symptoms, is one of our main strategies for identifying these infections. Once we identify them, the majority of them are treatable, and therefore we can actually treat the patient and reduce complications in the individual, reduce HIV transmission, and reduce other complications.